Well, the issue of Kogi State is very much in the news. A lot of issues concerning the legality and constitutional matters that has come up in that particular election. Now you're getting to see the headlines about INEC saying that, look, officially the All Progressives Congress have not reached out to them to say, well, our candidate is no more. So they're saying that for now, late Abubakar Audu remains the candidate for the party. But looking at what so many legal minds have come up to say on this matter, some are saying they want an outright re-election, and others are calling for what candidate and who to come in and look at this. These are matters that we'll be looking at on the program. We're not being joined this morning by phone by Mr. Kemi Pinheiro. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. He joins us by phone to look at this. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I do hope. Good morning. Well, I guess we're having a bit of connection with that. We should be able to get back to him to give us his insight into all of this, trying to find a solution to what this is about. And the issue about this has to do with what has emanated. Don't forget that Prince Abubakar Audu has been buried yesterday, and this is not without what went down in that particular place. But for even the opposition, PDP, they also expressed their shock and their condolence on the death of Prince Abubakar Audu. And for the APC, they have gone on to describe him as one of the best that they have ever had. This morning, we're now being joined by a senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Kemi Pinheiro. Good morning and thanks for joining us. This is one matter that a lot of legal minds like yourself have been trying to see what form of recipe. Yes, good to have you join us this morning. This is one issue that loads of legal minds in the country have been putting their voices on, trying to proffer solutions into what they have called a political logjam. For you, what does this mean?
First of all, I must say that most legal opinions that have been given so far, one may accuse some colleagues of giving opinions that are premised on political inclinations. Having said that, it is my view that this is one of the very few instances where the Constitution as well as our lawmakers did not envisage. Now, I bear in mind the provisions of Section 181 of the Constitution that provides for the death of a winner. Section 36 of the Electoral Act, on the contrary, provides for the death of a candidate after his nomination. Now, in all these both sections, no provision has been made for the death of a candidate after the election has been conducted. But there are two broad principles here that we need to establish. One is that election results are sacrosanct. Two, by the cocktail of decisions of our appellate court, the party platform is the machinery by which political power is achieved. Thirdly, which is also very important, is that late Audu and Fakeye ran a joint ticket. And it is not possible to excise the votes of voters that perhaps voted for Fakeye because Fakeye is on the ticket, or voted for Audu because late Audu was on the ticket. It is my view that by parity of reasoning, if we look at the provisions of Section 181, then it becomes necessary for Fakeye to run the ticket of the APC in the supplementary elections. Those approximately 240,000 votes that were earned by the joint ticket. And as such, we need to apply the principle that is applicable in Section 181 of the Constitution to the situation at hand. I do not subscribe to the view that we must postpone have already been earned by that joint ticket. And we will be subjecting ourselves to so much other issues if the elections are cancelled and the fresh election is conducted. It is important that we do not look at situations like this only because it's an APC or perhaps a PDP candidate. That election was contested by not less than at least over 20 other fringe parties. The question we must ask ourselves is that in the event in future that a fringe party's candidate dies, do we then constantly cancel elections and order fresh elections? I think the supplementary elections in those 91 units must go ahead, with Fakeye as the gubernatorial candidate and the APC at liberty to nominate a fresh deputy gubernatorial candidate. Those votes have already been earned.
Allow me to come in here. There is a particular section or rather phrase I would love you to clarify, and it has to do with what you have just quoted, section 1811 of the Constitution. There is a phrase there that says...
the provision is very clear. It says where a person is duly elected as governor...
Yes, if a person is duly elected.
Before taking or subscribing to the oath of allegiance or oath of office, or is unable to be sworn in, the person elected with him as deputy governor shall be sworn in. Now, and then he shall be at liberty to nominate a new deputy governor. This situation, in my view, is applicable, even though not directly. The jurisprudence behind this situation is what we should apply to the current situation that we have at hand. It's also very important that we have to bear in mind the decisions in Boni Haruna and the decisions in Amechi's cases. And of course, AMPP versus Atiku. I am of the view, and I'm totally against any idea, any notion of cancellation of the election. Those votes have already been earned, and they have been earned by the joint ticket of late Audu and Fakeye.
Okay, that's a Falike.
Hello?
No, I'm just trying to correct you on the name Falike. I think he's Falike. Talking about the joint ticket, I can hear you, Mr. Pinheiro. I can hear you.
Hello?
Oh, I think maybe we have some issues with the connection there. I really do hope you can hear us. You've been... You can. That's beautiful. No, I was trying to correct the name, correct you on the name there of the running mate, Mr. Falike, not Fakeye. But what are the similarities, if there are, between this particular matter you just highlighted and what we saw with Rotimi Amechi at that time in Rivers State?
Well, the similarities between the Amechi cases and the situation we have at hand is born out simply from the fact that both of them, in Amechi case, the Supreme Court held unequivocally that the platform, the contestants in the elections was the party, was the political party. Now, if we adopt that reasoning, then we need to uphold the fact that it was the APC that contested the elections that have become inconclusive, and it is the APC that has earned those votes.